And good morning, good afternoon. We can go ahead and get started with the housekeeping when appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you for participating in today's meeting. If attending in person, please do not connect to Zoom or teleconference while in the room, and please silence all devices. If translation is provided, click on the globe at the bottom of your screen to select either English or Spanish. Public comment will be taken after each item. If you're in the auditorium and wish to comment, please use the iPads located in the lobby or complete a blue speaker card as available. If you need assistance, please find a South Coast AQMD employee. Speakers may be limited to a total of 3 minutes or less for all agenda items. Times may be shortened to ensure all speakers can be heard. A countdown timer will be displayed on the screen for each public comment. More time will be allotted for Spanish translation that is not simultaneous. For questions or issues on making a public comment, please call the public advisor at 909-396-2432. That's 909-396-2432. Please adhere to the speaker time limit and treat others with courtesy, civility, and respect. Failure to do so can result in your mic being muted or you being removed from the meeting. Be aware that this meeting is being recorded. By participating, you authorize recording of audio and visual content presented during the live event and consent to subsequent use of the recording in the public domain by South Coast AQMD.
Well, thank you everyone for your attendance here for our technology committee meeting. I'd like to go ahead and start with a roll call, please.
Supervisor Hagman. Here. Mayor Lagdasson is absent. Mayor McCallum.
Here.
Board Member Padilla-Campos.
Here.
Supervisor Nguyen. She's not online. Absent. And Chair Rodriguez.
Here.
We have a quorum.
And we double check on the connection for the Supervisor Nguyen. I thought she was going to be attending remotely, so just to make sure. While we'll go ahead and doing that, we'll just go ahead and jump into our action items. Action item 1, issue program announcement and execute contracts for Proposition 1B, a goods movement emission reduction program. We have a presenter, Crystal Martinez. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Crystal Martinez, and I am a program supervisor in the Technology Advancement Office. Today, I will be presenting on item number 1, to issue program announcement and execute contracts for the Prop 1B Goods Movement Program. Next slide, please. The Prop 1B Goods Movement Program provides incentive funds for goods movement equipment operating in California trade corridors. Since 2008, South Coast AQMD has administered the Prop 1B program, funding over 7,000 pieces of equipment and providing significant emission reduction benefits to the region. Next slide, please. There is approximately $50 million available in funding. In April of 2025, CARB released an advisory increasing incentive amounts for the categories of cargo handling equipment and transport refrigeration units. Next slide, please. Staff proposes to issue a program announcement to solicit cargo handling equipment and transport refrigeration units. Eligible equipment will include rubber-tired gantry cranes, yard trucks, forklifts, lifts, and TRUs. Funding is also available for supporting infrastructure. Next slide, please. Application period will begin on October 3rd, and we plan to have it open for 3 months, closing on January 12th. Next slide, please. As recommended action, staff recommends to issue program announcement to solicit goods movement, cargo handling equipment, and transport refrigeration unit projects, and authorize executive officer to execute contracts for eligible projects. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the report. It's good to see it. We're going to do what we can to maximize the use of these resources, and I'll ask if there's any questions. Supervisor Hagman.
Thank you. I have a question on this, and I have also for agenda 5, I got to do my little speech. For agenda item number 5, do not have a financial interest, but I am identifying for record. I'm a supervisor of the county of San Bernardino, which is involved in that item. So get that out of the way. But on this, Wayne, since we already have other grants going out for things to the ports, can we expand it to also include airports?
As long as they are involved in the goods movement activities. So in the airport, if for the passenger, maybe not, but if
No,
they
but
are
for
doing
the goods,
cargo.
yeah, or cargo
Yeah.
or freight, stuff like that. So that would qualify for this program as well.
For the cargo handling equipment, yes.
Sounds good.
That's a great question, Supervisor. Thanks for the clarification. Any other questions, colleagues? Oh, please go ahead, board member.
Hi, Crystal. Can you go back to the slide that explained why we have that extra money? Something about dropping out or something?
Sure.
I'm just curious. That's a lot of money. So- or if you
Just
wanna
one
explain
moment.
it.
I just wanted, sorry about that. Excuse me. Can we double check if the supervisor Nguyen is now in the meeting? Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to read it.
No,
and
that's
That
okay.
makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Okay, if there aren't any other questions or comments, we'll see if there's any public comment.
There are no hands raised.
Okay, let's go ahead and call for the vote.
Supervisor Hagman. Mayor Lock Dawson is absent. Mayor McCallum.
Yes.
Board Member Padilla Campos.
Yes.
Supervisor Nguyen is absent and Chair Rodriguez.
I'm getting a note that the supervisor's in the waiting room, so I'd like to give her the opportunity to weigh in on the vote before we vote. Still no?
Chair, can she raise her hand so we can know which person to bring over? We're good.
Excuse me?
Supervisor has been moved over.
Hello,
Okay.
Supervisor. Happy Friday. Oh, I know you've been following along, and we'll go back to the roll call.
Can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear you and see you. Can you hear us, Supervisor?
Can you hear?
Yes.
Can you hear me or?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Did you? I'm sorry.
Supervisor, we're
Are
just
we
taking,
voting
we're
on
taking
item?
a roll call, a
I'm
vote
trying to-
on item 1. Can you hear me
Oh.
okay?
Yes,
There we go.
thank you. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Thank you.
Worth the wait. Okay, so, and I'll also say yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, very good. Thanks, everyone. We'll go to item 2, allocate funds and amend contracts for the Enhanced Fleet Modernization Program support. And we have Victor Juan with a staff report. Hello.
Hi, hello, good afternoon. My name is Victor Juan. I'm a program supervisor for the Technology Advancement Office. And today I'll be presenting on proposals related to Enhanced Fleet Modernization Program, or as we've rebranded it, the Replace Your Ride Program. Next slide. So just by way of background, the Replace Your Ride Program began in 2015. It's been one of our very popular and successful programs. It's very popular and oversubscribed. In that time, since 2015, we've replaced over 13,000 vehicles and amounting to about $110 million. Typically, the average age of the vehicle we've replaced in that time is about 23 years old. And our majority of participants, about 88%, are in the lowest income range or tier. Next slide, please. So as I said, the program is oversubscribed. Right now, we've increased the incentive in the last year to $12,000 per CARB guidelines. And with the heavy demand, it is due to changes in some programs. The CVRP program is no longer available, and also the recent sunsetting of the EV tax credit. So that's also increasing demand in our program. It is a very labor-intensive program that requires the assistance of 3 contractors. Our last RFP was done in 2022, and their contracts are expiring. And just a small amount of funds remaining in some of their contracts as we've have added funds to them. So so we're hoping to do another RFP to keep the process fair. And so select new contractors or retain some of the contractors as they submit. Next slide, please. So the proposal recommended actions are to issue an RFP for new case management services to help in implementing the Replace Your Ride program with minimum interruptions. The next proposal is to allow us to add $400,000 to each of the contracts to contractors to enable us to keep operating while we're selecting and going through the RFP process. And the last proposed item is to be able to contract out up to $4 million to the selected contractors for the RFP. And that concludes my presentation. I'm available for questions.
Thanks for the report. Any questions? Okay, yes, please go ahead, board member.
Thanks for the presentation. Just so I want to understand, how many folks are we hiring? Are you keeping 3 or keeping 1, getting 2? That was a little unclear for me.
I apologize for that. So yeah, we're actually currently we have 3 contractors now, but this RFP basically would be able to
renew their contract.
Select new ones, and some of them might be the same depending if they submit a proposal or submission for that RFP. But you're right, some of them could be the same, but it's not really renewing. It's actually just a new contract overall.
So those same 3 can reapply, but it's not guaranteed that they'll get the contract for this new term, which is 5 years, is it?
Well, the funds we're hoping to last about 5 years. Probably be about 3 years is the contract, as it was the previous RFP.
And these contractors are essentially the folks that find the individuals that want to apply for the program and help with the application, or what is their role?
So their role is actually to review the applications and do the first tier screening and make sure everything they qualify per the CARB requirements.
Oh, so they basically help the community member meet requirements for the program.
Exactly.
Is their role. And they're geographically dispersed. Is that one of the priorities in selecting the contractors?
No, it'd be some of them are remote. So yeah, it's not, I don't think that's a consideration necessarily that where they are, because right now we have some based up north, a couple based out here in the local region. So it's not necessarily something we reviewed, but are required.
So do we know where where the program is most popular, where you get the most applications?
Absolutely, that's a good question. So most of it, about 60 some odd percent comes from Los Angeles County, about 20% from Orange County, and about 7% from respectively from Riverside and San Bernardino.
Got it. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for the great questions there. And Mayor McAllen.
Thank you very much. Are hydrogen vehicles part of this program, or just the battery electric?
So the new CARB grant that we're using, actually, it's electric vehicles, so battery electric vehicles, fuel cell electric vehicles, and plug-in hybrid electric vehicles are the only replacement vehicles that they can select.
So fuel cell vehicles? Just anecdotally, I was riding with a friend of mine who has a fuel cell car, and we were stopping at the here at the district to refuel, and the car in front of us had 2 people in it, and they had very limited English, hard to communicate. They were trying to understand the instructions on the hydrogen refueling thing. So I just bring that up as an issue potentially for some of the lower income recipients.
Thank you for that. We'll take a look at the signage out there.
Thank you, Mayor. If there's no other questions or comments, then we'll see if there's any public comment, please.
No hands raised.
Okay, nothing in the queue, so we'll,
Can I move?
excuse me?
Can I move the item?
Yes, absolutely. We have a motion and a second. Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and call for the vote, please.
Supervisor Hagman. Mayor Dawson is absent. Mayor McAllen.
Yes.
Board Member Padilla-Campos.
Yes.
Supervisor Nguyen
Yes.
and Chair Rodriguez.
Yes,
Motion passes 5 ayes.
thank you. We'll move on to item 3. Execute contract to demonstrate plug-in hybrid tugboat and install supporting charging infrastructure. And we have a staff report. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Mariam Hajbabai. I'm a program supervisor with technology demonstration team. The item that I will be presenting today is execute contract to demonstrate plug-in hybrid tugboat and installing the supporting infrastructure. Next slide, please. A quick background on this item. Back in 2003, board recognized 10 million award of EPA to demonstrate plug-in hybrid tugboat with the supporting infrastructure. Crowley was the awardee of this project, but in 2024, they decided not to pursue this project. As such, we received two proposals from Bay Delta Maritime and also ARC Boat Company to demonstrate this project. Next slide, please. The current proposal is for Bay Delta to convert a Tier 3 diesel tugboat to a zero-emission capable plug-in hybrid tugboat, and also ARC to design and install a 4.8 megawatt charging system at Alto Sea in Port of Los Angeles. This project is estimated to reduce 80 tons of NOx emissions and 1.5 tons of PM 2.5 emissions annually. Next slide, please. The proposed project cost is $38 million, from which 10 million is from US EPA award that has been recognized in 2023. And South Coast AQMD is contributing $1.5 million. Ports and also Bay Delta and ARC are cost sharing for this project. Next slide, please. The summary of recommended action for this item is to authorize the executive officer to execute contracts with Bay Delta for about $7 million for the plug-in tugboat project, and ARC for almost $4 million to install the charging system at the Port of Los Angeles. That concludes my presentation, and I will be taking any questions. Thank you.
Thank you for the report. Great to see the potential of 80 tons of NOx and 1.5 million PM2. So see if there's any questions or comments, colleagues. Board Member Padilla-Campos.
Thank you. This exciting project, but just wondering if you knew or had an estimate on the timeline.
We are about to kick off the project as soon as we receive your approval to it. So we are ready to start both sides of the project, charging infrastructure and also the tugboat conversion.
Do you have an
Both
estimate?
companies are ready.
Like the date of implementation?
As soon as we get the contract going, they are ready to install execute the project. For ARC to install the charging infrastructure, it will take them a year or two. And the expected time for the conversion, the Bay Delta tugboat, is 2 years. And they after that, they will start demonstrating the tugboats for a year period.
Then I'm happy to move the item so you can get this going.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take that motion and just 1 second to clarify. Did we have any public comment on this item?
Yes, we have two hands raised in the
Okay,
queue. The first
great.
is Ranji George.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman and board members. Thank you for letting me speak. My name is Ranji George. I was the program supervisor that led the zero emission projects in the late 90s. I have a question. I want to compliment the staff for, having this project, the plug-in. It's actually far better than a full electric system, because full electric requires hundreds of batteries, which needs to be recycled, and the board and the state is simply not simply ignoring that issue of recycling. Whereas with plug-in, you have much smaller batteries on one battery, and you can have tons of reductions, as this is noted in this proposal. Having said that, I would like the board to keep a track of how much money is being spent on hydrogen and battery electric. It seems that every project, 95% of the funding for zero emissions are going into batteries, very little in going to hydrogen. Maybe there are other sources, but for public sakes, please put forward this accounting, what's going on in the hydrogen sector. So thank you, Mr. McAllen, for raising the question of hydrogen, but I hope you'll continue to do so because otherwise the board keeps forgetting that zero emission includes the more advanced zero emission technology, namely hydrogen. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have other
And our
comments, please?
next commenter is Harvey Etter.
Hello, am I being heard?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Harvey Etter. I'm founder director of Public Solar Power Coalition. Ditto to what Ranji's saying. Also, at the last meeting of this committee, there was a fellow that came that worked with CEC, LADWP, and the city of LA, and they put in solar. They were told by Edison it was going to take 3-4 years to get it in. It was 10 megawatts, and they got it in, and permits going in 5 months, and got it in a year. Okay, that's using public power and the leverage of working with the communities, the local government and whatnot. And it's in the record. I want to incorporate that by reference here in comments. Also, Roberti, this is like in 82 or something, he said that you had to have like 50% solar. You can't just do natural gas for your hydrogen and stuff. Okay, and that's state law. And so they've been deficient on that and whatnot for a long time. But so there has to be that all of this stuff for chargers have to show that they just don't use the blasé term zero emissions. Solar, it's 100%, and you got to show it's 100%. And when you say that you're doing charging and stuff in this part of infrastructure includes the solar electric. All right, that's part of it. So this is deficient in that regard, and I got to send it back to staff, send it back to the state one, not in the legislature, and let's correct it. And also work with the unions and the community to do co-ops. And worker-owned equity is a big problem in our democracy. We've got like 5% of the population owning 80% of the stock, and democracy is threatened right now. People only got 7% of the country can only last one paycheck. We got real problems, and it's got to be dealt with. And this economy is slowing down. This is the real. And we got to look at ways of redistributing the wealth in these emerging industries. That includes AI and robotics and the whole enchilada. All right. So let's get down and
we stay on topic,
really
please.
I am on topic. I'm saying that we need a systemic change. That the concept of metabolic rift is out there. The alienation from ourselves and our environment.
We can move on to the next.
Do we have any other public comments?
There are none.
No additional public
Okay,
comment.
thank you. Seeing none, I had a motion.
And I'll
And
second
we
it
have a second.
with a comment.
Oh, go ahead.
I hope this demonstration project is successful, and I look forward to immediate production of these units for the ports.
I'd echo those sentiments. Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and proceed with the vote, please.
Supervisor Hagman. Mayor Dawson is absent. Mayor McAllen.
Yes.
Board Member Padilla-Campos.
Yes.
Supervisor Nguyen.
Yes.
Chair Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 ayes.
Okay, thank you, colleagues. I'll move on to item 4. Adopt resolution recognizing revenue for fiscal year 2024-25, Community Air Protection Program, and reimburse general fund for administrative costs. And we have a staff report.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. My name is Kelly Camino. I'm here to present the item for the basically the Community Air Protection Program funds. So next slide, please. By way of background, last year in June, approximately 195 million of the CAP funds were provided for incentive projects statewide. Of that number, 73 million was allocated to South Coast AQMD for emissions and exposure reduction projects under the AB 617 program. The funds will be used with at least 70 to 80% of the funds to benefit disadvantaged and low-income communities. A breakdown of the funding is shown below. to show the amount of project funds and then the amount of administrative funds that will be recognized. Next slide, please. So in summary of this admin item, it would be to adopt a resolution recognizing the 73 million in CAP funds into the AB 617 fund, and then reimburse the general fund for any administrative costs in the amount of 9 million. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for your report. And are there any questions or comments, colleagues? Okay, we'll go ahead and fantastic. We have a motion and a second. Before we go to any discussion, we have any public comment?
No hands raised.
Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment and call for the vote, please.
Supervisor Hagman. Mayor Dawson is absent. Mayor McCallum.
Yes.
Board Member Padilla-Campos.
Yes.
Supervisor Nguyen
Yes.
and Chair Rodriguez.
Yes,
Motion passes 5 ayes.
thank you. Okay, so we have some administrative action items. This is a new agenda category for the committee designed to increase our efficiency during our meetings. This administrative actions category is for those items that are simply cleanup type actions on previously approved projects. There are no presentations required for this administrative action, but we will still need to vote on these items. So going to item 5 and approve action items for technology project contracts. So we do need a motion, and unless there's some questions for staff on the matter. or
Hagman
anything
moves.
Excuse me?
I move.
Okay, thank you, Supervisor. You have a second?
Oh, second.
Thank you, Board Member, and we'll open it up. Any discussion? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. Or do we need
have
public comment?
Public comment.
Thank you.
Harvey
Okay.
Etter has his hand raised.
Okay, thank you. Hello, can you go ahead with your comment, please? Looks like you are on mute, so go ahead and make your comment, please. If you can hear me, you are up. Harvey, you are on mute. Can we unmute him? Any way to do that? Want to make sure we give him an opportunity to make his comment.
Hello, am I being heard?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, I tried half a dozen times. It's really subpar, to say the least. We're being purged, okay? We need to study. We don't know what, we talked about this the last meeting, that you haven't done solar thermal, backed up by Ronji. He's doing this for 30 years. We didn't come here 40 years. You did not evaluate the Solar New Deal of DOE. We brought in 100 exhibits. We want to know the status of solar and the history of what you've done as a committee and as a district, and where it is now and what your plans are for the future. And that should be part of this report and the other reports you do on technology.
Okay, thank you for that comment. Do we have any other comments?
No additional hands raised.
Okay, thank you. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close public comment. And we need to call for a vote, or yeah, we have a motion in a second. So let's go ahead and.
Supervisor Hagman.
Hagman, aye.
Mayor Dawson is absent. Mayor McCallum. Board Member Padilla-Campos.
Yes.
Supervisor Nguyen
Yes.
and Chair Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 ayes.
Thank you, colleagues. Our information item today is item 6, presentation on rethinking power generation. And one of the initiatives I've pushed as chair for this committee is to bring guest speakers at our monthly meeting to share details about technology and projects we have funded or partnered with. And over the past few, we've heard innovative technology projects such as the Joint Electric Truck Scaling Initiative, or Jet C pilot project, an e-trailer system being utilized as a component in the electrification of heavy-duty fleets. We've also heard from the ports about technological advances. We've also recently heard from Mindspring about their linear generator technology projects for fleets. Today, I'm excited to welcome and continue our exploration of strategies to generate power when the grid is not available or ready to support a project through cutting-edge linear generator technology for multiple applications. I'm pleased to introduce our guest speaker, Bobby K. Shirian, Senior Vice President for Government Affairs for Helion. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you all giving us an opportunity to share with you what we're doing at Hyliion today. And I'm hoping by the end of the presentation, you'll be as excited about this project and this product as we are as we go forward into our commercialization. Just briefly, on the right-hand side of the screen, you see one of our power generation boxes. We call it the Carno Power Module. You'll see it's got a great form factor. That is our 200 kilowatt launch product that we're just commercializing here this year. If we go to the next slide, please. Tell you a little bit about Hyliion. We are an Austin, Texas-based headquarters location. It's also where our manufacturing is taking place. We also have an R&D facility right outside of Cincinnati. And the reason why Cincinnati is important is we actually acquired this Carno technology from GE a couple of years ago. So GE was the original founder. We acquired that entire technology, the IP, as well as all the founding engineers that were part of this technology as well. On the right-hand side of the screen, you see a couple of depictions of what the system looks like in a much larger form factor, and I'll share with you a little bit more details about how the system actually works and what we are actually trying to bring to market right now. Next slide. From an applications perspective, we have very wide spaces that we can play in. On the defense side of our applications, we have several that we're in the middle of working on right now. The one that is very public today is with the Navy. We are actually producing a power generation set that's going to be used in autonomous vessels going forward. Some of the benefits of that are we can use liquid fuels in this application. It's very low maintenance from a maintenance perspective. So when you have nobody on board the vessel to do any kind of work, this is a great fit for autonomous platforms. We're also working with the Air Force on flex fuel power generation, working with the Army on some really unique systems as well. So from a defense perspective, we see a really good opportunity. Data centers obviously just don't have enough power today. And so this is a great fit for the technology where we also have the ability to be completely fuel agnostic, provide great backup solutions as well as prime power applications. From a waste gas perspective, think about oil fields and landfills where you have methane gases that are being flared off into the environment. We can actually take those flare gases before they're processed, before they're cleaned, and actually run them through the generator and produce electricity from what would normally have just been a waste product. Prime power is a great place for us as well. So if you think about warehouses, distribution centers, Home Depots, Walmarts, we can be the entire power source for all of those facilities. And then lastly, EV charging is a great place for us. Some of our customers are going to actually be using the Carno power modules in EV charging applications. Next slide. Okay, so if we talk a little bit about how the generator actually works. So this is very different than any other type of generator system that's out there today. The two ends of the system where you see in orange are the places where we actually bring in fuel. And we spark that fuel one time to actually begin to just extract the heat. So the way I want you to think about this generator is our only input to produce electricity is heat. That entire center section inside of the orange is actually hermetically sealed to what fuel is coming in. It does not know what the environment looks like. The only thing the actual power system is trying to check for is if it has enough heat to actually produce electricity. So if we go to the next slide, you'll see a little bit of an animation how the system actually works. We only have one moving part in each of these shafts to produce electricity. So remember that center section where that piston is actually moving is completely hermetically sealed. So what we do is we'll bring in a fuel on both sides of the system. And if we start on the left side first, bring in a fuel, we spark that one time just to be able to get the burning process to start on that fuel. And think about it as if you're at home in your stovetop and you're running a natural gas stovetop, it's just burning. It's just kind of oxidizing that fuel. The only thing we're trying to do, though, is extract the heat from that fuel. So we're not using any internal combustion practices. We're just doing a slow burn on that fuel to be able to draw the heat out. And through a series of heat exchangers, we bring that heat into that red area of the system. That red area is really just a trapped volume of helium. So as that helium starts to expand, it pushes the piston to the right. And on the other side of the generator, or the shaft, I should say, we have the exact same reaction that's happening. The fuel is coming in. It is heating up the helium on that side of the system and pushing that piston then the other way. It's going slow in the video that you see here, but 20 to 30 times per second, that piston is flying back and forth across a series of magnets and coils and producing electricity. We are 800 volts DC natively coming out of the system. If we go to the next slide. So this is just a quick depiction of what the system looks like on the inside of that box I showed you on the first slide. So there are 4 shafts in our base product that will produce 200 kilowatts of power. If we hit the next slide. So from a benefits perspective, you'll remember I said that the system, the power system itself in that center of the generator is completely hermetically sealed. So it does not know what fuel is actually coming in. So we are completely fuel agnostic. We can use gaseous fuels, we can use liquid fuels, we can blend fuels together on the fly, hot swap them. So we bring a lot of versatility, a lot of reliability when it comes to electricity production. Our efficiency levels are also very high at 50%, significantly higher than you would see with traditional generator solutions. And as you had seen in that video earlier, there's only one moving part in each of these shafts. So our maintenance is also expected to be very low. There are no oils to change. We don't use after treatment systems at all in the solution. Very quiet as well. So oftentimes when the system is running at full power, your conversation you're having with somebody will actually be louder than what the system will be in application. Ultra low emissions as well. So you'll see here we're single digits, NOx and carbon monoxide, natively coming out of the system with no after treatment systems that are involved. If we go to the next slide. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what the form factors of our systems are as well. It's very unique, nothing quite like it in the industry today. So our 200 kilowatt launch product that we're commercializing this year can fit in a small area of about 8.5 feet in length, 8.5 feet in height, and about roughly 3 feet in width. So very, very small from a form factor perspective. Our 2 megawatt solution, and think about this for data center type applications, roughly in the size of a 20-foot shipping container. So very, very power dense, not a lot of real estate required to get to very large scales of power. If we go to the next slide. The way that we unlock this type of technology, there's really nothing else like it, is we use additive manufacturing or 3D printing. So if you were ever able to come to one of our facilities, you'll see that we have a fleet of 3D printers that are printing really, really unique shapes. The shape that you see here, the part that you see here on the upper left-hand corner of this page is actually one of the parts that goes in the generator. You'll see these very narrow flow channels that we are utilizing and very highly complex components that we use for heat exchange within the system. If we go to the next slide. And this is my last slide, telling you a little bit about where we are in terms of our commercialization process. You saw earlier that we are playing heavily in the defense space. We've delivered the first 2 units as an early adopter customer to the Navy. Remember, this is ultimately going to be used in an unmanned vessel application. We also have 2 additional systems that we're working on right now. One of those is going to be for certification purposes with UL, and the next one is going to be for our first commercial customer that is going to be utilizing this system for power applications later this year. And that is my last slide. I'd love to take any questions that you have about the system.
Well, thank you. It's exciting to see what you're working on and the different applications. Do we have any questions? We'll start with the supervisor, then go to the mayor.
Thank you. I really appreciate the presentation. I'm wondering, as you know, early stages, but when it's deployed, how's it, let's go back to operational costs. How does it look for, you know, competitive with current energy rates and those type of things? How's your ROI on that?
Yeah, great question. So we haven't been public with a lot of those details. I'll share with you some examples, though, that should be able to frame it a little bit. So from an upfront cost perspective, we expect that we're going to be less than a fuel cell. Traditional generators such as natural gas and diesel, we're probably going to be a little bit higher than those systems. Where we see the benefit, though, is we will more than make that up with the actual operations cost of the system. In most places, we're going to be less than the grid. And because our efficiencies are so high compared to some of the traditional technology and generator areas, we expect over the long haul that our system will actually be more cost effective than some of the technologies that are in the market today. Thank you.
Okay, Mayor McCallum.
Thank you very much. How fast does the thing start up?
Great
Transferring
question.
heat?
Yeah, great question. So if we go from a black start, complete black start, roughly within 30 seconds, we're at positive power. And then between 3 and 4 minutes, we'll actually be at full power.
Thank you.
You had a slide earlier on as far as the different applications.
Yes.
Can we go back to that slide real quick? Oh, thank you. So can you share any examples of where you're utilizing these applications currently, or that you can report on that are in the works?
Yeah, we haven't really been public yet because we're just now getting some of these systems out today. So the ones that we have talked about publicly so far is the Navy has delivered, or we've delivered to the Navy the first couple of units that they're going to be using in testing to ultimately put these systems into unmanned vessels. We have a couple of customer commercial units that are going to be coming after that. Can't name those customers yet. The plan, though, is going to be using those in EV charging and other stationary type applications. Over the course of the next several weeks and months, we'll start to be more open about what those applications are, but I would say those are the early ones that are going to be coming.
Okay. And then just from a regulatory standpoint, are there any barriers or challenges that need to be worked through?
Yeah.
Just things that within the scope of even AQMD that we're working on with you that can demonstrate future collaboration.
Yes, great question. So we've actually already been working with the AQMD team around the 1110.3 regulation for linear generators. So in that regulation, there are certain thresholds set for emissions, and we feel very comfortable that we'll be able to achieve those levels. In addition to that, just recently, EPA has also weighed in on the technology and indicated that we are not going to be considered an internal combustion engine as it relates to regulations at the federal level as well. So as we see going forward how our implementations will work, it's going to really be dependent on local rules and local permitting requirements. So we feel like we've got a really good path to success there as well.
And do you see potential utilizing this technology and working with the public sector in areas of service such as wastewater treatment facilities, water districts, other high energy, high capacity need functions that need to have that reliability, but just with increased capacity constraints where you could step in and see these generators used? Can you share a little bit about your vision in that space?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the answer is yes. So as we see it today, we are not restricting ourselves to any particular area. We see a lot of pull from certain places, absolutely. If you think about data centers and what we're doing with the defense side of the business today, but absolutely, wastewater could be a really interesting place for us to participate in, and absolutely we'll look at that.
There's been a lot of discussion about the ports in recent days. What can you say about the role linear generators can play in the overall need for infrastructure and capacity in that space?
So we've actually had a lot of discussions with the ports along the way. Hyliion actually got our start in electrifying heavy duty trucks. And so we spent a lot of time talking to the fleets that were in the ports, especially here in California. And so I think there is a tremendous amount of opportunity, not just for solutions to drive infrastructure, but look at new technologies like linear generators. Ports are a perfect place especially where we know that there's a lot of emission sitting in those areas, and we can do something about it right away. I think ports are a great application.
How do you describe the relationship with your company and looking to implement your technology and coordination with the utilities?
Yeah.
SoCal Edison, PG&E. Describe a little bit of that.
Great
interplay.
question. Yeah.
As far as being viewed as collaborative, not necessarily a competitor or at odds. What is your view on that?
Yeah, great question. I think our goal is to work collaboratively with whoever the customer may be. That does include utilities as well. So as far as we see it, we are here to do business and be able to solve problems when it comes to power, and absolutely want to partner with the utilities, whether it's the utility that's going to provide the fuel coming into the system, or if it's the electricity producer, to be able to integrate our systems within their systems for grid reliability and other microgrid solutions. We see that as a great place for the Carno solution.
Just one other question. I'm aware of, for lack of a better word, a competitor, and they've utilized the linear generators in a residential development context up north, I believe. So what can you say about the horizon of that use of linear generators in that space of using capacity for needs for new residential development?
Yeah, great question. So from a Hyliion perspective, we're focused on our 200 kilowatt power solution, get that out the door. From a residential perspective, we have also talked about having a smaller system that can be used outside of a home, not in the case of backup solutions like you would see as a Generac system, but as a primary power solution. That is on our roadmap, and it's going to be down the road before we get to that point. But being able to do community type microgrids, that's a very interesting space. And I think that can be something that we can roll out with this 200 kilowatt solution. But a single unit home, definitely something we're talking about, but it's going to be years down the road.
Well, thank you. Once you have some of these projects you can go public with, we'd love to have you back next year. Maybe let us know in 6 months how things are progressing.
Absolutely.
And love to hear about further advancements in the use of this technology. Were there any other questions, Supervisor and the Mayor?
Just to follow up on some of the other information on the fuel source. I know it's agnostic, but let's say you have natural gas at the facility already. What size of line, what kind of volume? Does it take the regular size you have, or do you upscale the infrastructure on that as well?
I'd like to come back to you and be very specific with that point, but in most cases, our customers are just using pipeline natural gas, for example, to be able to
So they don't
supply.
have to put new infrastructure,
That's right.
upsize that in general cases. Great.
Thank you, Supervisor. Mayor?
Thank you very much. I'm a huge fan of linear generators and their application in microgrid systems. I am concerned about the startup time, especially for backup generation for data centers. To have 4 minutes to have full power would be problematic some way. But I'm glad to see the technology. I encourage it. I just think we need to provide energy options for people when the electric companies are unable to provide it for a considerable length of time, apparently, in getting infrastructure in. So if these are available reasonable time and we can have them on a microgrid, I'm all for it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Any other comments, questions?
Just thank you. Thank you for bringing the presentation, to all involved in scheduling, you coming before us, something to be excited about and pay attention to. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and staff, do we need a public comment? Yes, we do. So we'll just hang tight for that. Do we have any?
We have one hand raised, Ranji George. Ranji, you have about 1 minute and 34 seconds left.
Go ahead, Ranji. Go ahead with your comment, please.
Yes. This is Ranji Joe. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman and the staff, for putting up this great presentation. Even the last one was terrific. This is a very useful technology because waste heat is where we lose a lot of the efficiency in combustion, almost 70% lost in waste heat and most forms of combustion. So thank you for utilizing this waste heat for running your processes. I have 3 quick questions. One is the NOx ppm was calculated without using the combustion material, right? It's separate from it. That's why it's so low, because if you include the combustion, the NOx will be higher. Secondly, what is the threshold of heat you need to make it efficient? The higher the heat, probably the more efficient it is, the lower. So is there a threshold? So it may not be applicable to across the board, but in some application than others. Thirdly, what's the reliability? Have you looked at how long it will run, and have you done various quality measures to give us that answer? Thank you.
Thank you, Ranji. Before we answer those questions, do we have any other public comment?
No additional hands are raised.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close public comment, and then just if you'd like to respond to any of those comments, feel free.
All right, I'll take the first one very easily. The NOx and ppm question, that's actually coming out of our exhaust stream. So that is all things considered coming out of the exit exhaust stream. That's single digits parts per million with no after treatment systems.
Thank you. Any other comments before we conclude?
I think I just wanted one more time to say thank you to South Coast AQMD. We really appreciate the opportunity to share with you what we have coming to the market right now, and looking forward to sharing with you in the future some of the successes we have.
Thank you for taking the time for the report. We'll look forward to exploring opportunities for future collaboration and having you back for an update in the future. So our best to you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item 7, which is other business. And colleagues, do you have any other business to report on? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go to item 8, our public comment period. And do we have any?
No hands raised. Oh, Ranji just raised his hand. So
Okay, let's go ahead and take that comment. Hello, Ranji.
My name is Ron.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman, for letting me speak. I have a question on hydrogen and the cost of hydrogen. I have some friends who are using hydrogen cars, and they have expressed great disappointment at the hydrogen prices. It's climbing I think it's pretty high, and I'm not sure what the district is doing to address it. Can they form when I ran the program for zero emission, I think we used to form a brain trust of some of the best minds across the globe. Over the phone line, we used to discuss and to resolve problems. And are we doing that for resolving the challenges hydrogen faces, particularly the high prices in the pump? And yes, we want solar hydrogen, as Harvey Eder said, that's very important. But in the interim, can we go natural gas-based hydrogen just to show the technology? It's a very small part of the whole natural gas industry. Natural gas, 99.99% are being used for heat, a small percentage for hydrogen to demonstrate the technology because people are not familiar. So the cost could be brought down. Right now, EVs are given a free pass because they run on grids that 50% are at least natural gas. In the national grid, the fossil fuels are much higher. So I urge people to form a brain trust, get people on board, and try to resolve it. Don't let it pass. I urge you to do that. Otherwise, we are going to see the death of this advanced zero-emission technology. So thank you again. And then I support Mr. Harvey Eder's comment on solar thermal. Why are we ignoring that? We have set aside so much money, $12 million, and there's hardly any mention or discussion on solar thermal, a very well-established technology which we can surely promote here. Like the speaker of the last session, in August, there was a speaker who's, clearly 50% of his presentation was on solar and hydrogen. So we should have that framework of thinking in this board. Staff is only thinking about batteries, but we should have a more overall approach to this problem, zero emissions. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any further public comment?
No additional hands raised.
Thank you. I will say that the AQMD continues to lean in and participate in the fuel cell partnership. So just of note that we certainly are spending a lot of time in that space, and whether I'm attending and staff, we remain committed to participating and collaborating in that space as well. So just wanted to make sure the public was aware of that. With that, that will conclude our meeting for today. Thank you, colleagues. And our next meeting will be on Friday, October 17th at noon, and wishing you all a great rest of the day and weekend. And thank you again. God bless.